everyone, it's Sammy from Sammy's Sweet Life, and we are just going to do a planner stack chat. So this is just going to be my random planner musings, talk about what has been working really nicely for me for 2022 and what I plan on incorporating in for 2023. This is not my official planner stack video. I do not have that ready yet, but I've seen a lot of people talking about their planner stack. I want to share kind of my thought process going into deciding what planners I'm going to commit to for 2023. So I'm going to talk a little bit about like my absolute bare bones, bare necessities, ride or die planners that I have used for 2022. And they will definitely be in the mix in some capacity, but I'm gonna definitely be changing it up. I'm gonna be trying out lots of new planners over 2023. You guys have seen just the sheer volume of new planners that I have been reviewing. I have basically like 4 cubbies of brand new planners for 2023. It includes some undated ones. It includes ones that I've purchased myself. It includes a lot that planner companies have sent to me or I've gotten on very, very deep discounts being an affiliate for companies. So I just have a lot of things that I'm going to incorporate in. I want to talk a few things. First, my process for this is going into it, number 1, what's been working, number 2, what's not been working, and then number 3, what newness and excitement do I want to include in the mix. So those are my 3 like main discussion bullet points of this process. So as far as what's been working, for absolute bare bones, what I need to get functioning, I need a weekly planner. I need a goal setting planner. I found this year goal setting was indispensable for me. It made a big difference in everything going on. And then I also need a notebook of some sort. So those are my 3 like absolute bare minimum things I need in order to function in my own life. And those 3 have been these 3 pretty consistently this year. I also really love the Spaces notebook, and I do have like lists and things in here that are like longer term things I keep. So that one also is in the mix, but as far as like jotting down any sort of notes or ideas, it has been a plain old notebook. This just happens to be a lined productivity style notebook, but I did swatches, I do pen testing, I do video notes. If I'm talking in a video, especially like one in front of the camera, I will have a list of bullet pointed notes to make sure I cover everything I want, and then I can look back at that. I also do lists of videos that needed to be edited or video ideas that are going to be for sure done. I keep them in this little productivity style spot. So this notebook has come in handy. This one happens to be a vegan leather cover one of a flora flower that I think is just beautiful. And then I just covered it. I just put a Christmas Erin Condren cover on there, but this notebook changes. This one right now is the one I've been using a ton. I also have used a different Erin Condren one that didn't have the checklists on it, and I will use other notebooks as needed for this. It has changed and evolved over the years, but I always have some sort of big, chunky style notebook that has lots and lots of lines on it. So I do have other options for this. I have a couple from Moxie Life that could serve the same purpose when this one runs out, but basically I just always have to have lined paper. I use it for all of my like brain dumping ideas, notes, everything. So I definitely have to have some sort of lined paper. And then as far as goal setting, I found that Moxie Life really just spoke to me. It worked with me this year. I love their coaching. If you're interested in getting some more coaching and advice, their Club Moxie is awesome. I would highly, highly recommend it for anybody who is feeling like they're possibly floundering a little bit, or they don't really have a clear picture of where they want their life to go, or if they're having trouble getting the motivation and inspiration for getting things started. There is just so much in that group, and I highly, highly recommend at least trying it out for a couple of months. And yeah, it's been great to be in that group. It's put me in a different mindset, and having this planner and going through the weekly actions every week. I'm trying to flip to the very end because most of these are filled out. Let's see, that is the end of the year. I don't have many more to be able to share with you guys. So this is what the weekly action page looks like, and this has been just crucial for me getting stuff done, and I love, love, love this page. It's a game changer. I will be using one for 2023, and I don't know what capacity I will be using the weekly pages. I did end up switching layout. So this is the vertical. I found the vertical didn't work for me for 2022. So I did switch to horizontal, but I don't know in what capacity I'm going to be using the horizontal in. It might be for like writing down my daily wins. It might be for brush lettering. It might be for writing out quotes. It could be affirmations. I don't know that it's going to be like my week to week planning page, but it will definitely be used in some capacity. I just know I'm going to use the goal pages for sure out of this planner, and that's worked really great all year long. And then as far as the weekly planner, I fell in love with the compact vertical style planner, and yeah, I've used this most of the year. It does go into 2023 as well, but you guys know how much I loved the Flora. This is the newer one in Bloom. It's an Erin Condren layout, and I just love it. It's perfect for my everyday to-do list. I usually will like highlight 2 bars. For instance, every week I would tend to highlight these 2 top bars and put our activities and things on those, and then write our to-do lists down below that. And I really like just having my running to-do list. It's kind of a sloppy planner, but I did end up decorating it on some weeks. And even when I didn't decorate it at all, if I just put the 2 highlighter bars, this was just very functional, just down and dirty, get it done type of planner. And I love it so much. It's just such a pretty planner. And then I can just use the little bit of space for each day. I love the A5 size of this. It's just so good. And I am sad that this month for December, I'm testing out other planners, and I have not used this at all for December, and I really like it. So this one also runs through 2023, but I ended up getting quite a few plum paper planners that have the same exact layout. Let's see. I'll grab the new hardcover one. I just reviewed these hardcovers, but it has the same exact layout, except it already has the 2 bars. So if you want something that's already pre-done, definitely check out Plum Paper Planner, because they already have the little highlighter bars. The only thing is, if you don't like their colors or their color schemes, you might want to just get the compact vertical and highlight your own bars. But I think this looks way cleaner and sleeker with the bars already done. And I will be using this for 2023 as well. I just really love having the grid style with lines. It's just my favorite of the planner layouts lately. And I've been using this one since June. This is the first month I haven't used this, like all month long, since June. So that's saying something for me, because I tend to swap planners a ton, but I really stuck it out with this one. So that covers like my ride or dies for 2022. Those are my favorite ones. And then I have lots of things, lots of choices for 2023. And I did realize, you know, pretty quickly that this layout is working really nicely for me, just as far as like just an everyday running to-do list to keep track of things. I ended up getting it in various other ones so that I can test out different systems. I really, moving forward as far as excitement goes, I am really excited about the Moxie Life Moxie Folio. And also I ended up getting an Erin Condren version as well. And I really like this one as well, because this one you can fit more things into. I find that this one's very restrictive because it is rigid, and one of the things I like about it is rigid and it's beautiful, and it just looks really sleek with this little magnetic closure and all the bells and whistles on the inside of this one. Here, I'll zoom out just a little bit for you guys. It has all the nice bells and whistles on the inside, so you can have all of your stuff with you. You can stick, you know, clips and Post-it notes and all that sort of things in here. And then you also have a pen at the ready, but it's very restricting as far as how many and what types of notebooks you can put in there. You could put in 4, but it's a tight squeeze if any of them are even remotely thick. So that's a little bit limiting, whereas this one, it has the elastic band, and that's how you're limited. You're limited how far this thing can stretch, and so I find that you can squeeze a lot more into this one, but it is not anything else, you know? It's just the wrapper. It doesn't include places to put clips and all that good stuff that you would want with your folio system. So I find that both of them have their pros and cons. I'll do whole videos talking about these once I actually use them in practice and how they hold up over time and how they work in practical use, how they work over time. But I'm super duper excited to incorporate this in. I have a plan in my planner stack to potentially put planner stacks together and try to use only these, like only one of these at a time. Like, can I fit my whole planner life in this Moxie folio? That's going to be a challenge for next year. Can I fit my whole life of planning into the Petite Planner Folio from Erin Condren? That's going to be a challenge for this next year. So I do have options that work with these. I've got tons of little A5 size books and similar size books, and I cannot wait to go down that rabbit hole, because that's a totally different rabbit hole for me. I'm used to basically spiral bound planners, and this is a completely different system. This is Traveler's Notebook-esque type systems, and I'm very excited to add that into my planner stack. I just don't know exactly how that's going to go yet. Setting things back on the shelf. So one thing that I have found, one discovery I found this year is this Mom Agenda self-care planner. So I have really liked this. This is an undated planner, and it only goes through 90 days. I'm on like day 22 or 23. I've been using it for quite a while, and I've really liked being able to fill out all this stuff and keep these things in the forefront every day. And I also use this side for journaling, so I've been incorporating in more journaling on a very consistent, regular basis, whereas before I have a notebook in my nightstand and I journal maybe like one day a week, but it's not consistent and it's not something that I like look forward to or pay attention to, whereas this, I have the space, I've been paying attention to it every day and really just writing out some thoughts, and I've really enjoyed that process, getting back into journaling. I used to be that kid that always had a diary and always journaled. So this is something that I'm kind of finding the love for again. And so in this discovery, I found I really like self-care tracking and all this kind of tracking, and I really like journaling. So this was a 2-for-1 discovery, and I will incorporate those in some capacity. This one only goes 90 days, so I have other options for wellness and self-care planner. I have lots of options for journaling as far as incorporating that in, but I think this one was a great option if you want both in the same planner. And the cover on this is like suede feeling. It's really tactilely lovely for me. I just love that feel. And yeah, this one's been a great one to incorporate in the last, like I said, like 20 some odd days I've used this one. And it really let me know, for one, I love journaling. I need to get back to it more consistently, which I have for this. And then also all the self-care stuff. So I will end up definitely having some sort of self-care option in my lineup for 2023, but that one was a really nice one, and it's just beautiful. If you want to try out the self-care planner by Mama Janet, it's a great option to just like get your toes wet, like try it out and see what you think. And it's really helped me kind of focus in and narrow down what I want for 2023 using this one and just experimenting with it. Now another thing, another complete rabbit hole, actually I have 2 more rabbit holes to dive down. I ended up getting an Archer and Olive bullet journal. Of course, that's not going to be like my only planner, so I'm gonna have to decide how I'm going to use this, in what capacity, and what I'm going to track in here. It's not going to be something that I use super duper consistently. Like, it's not going to be one that I have to have out with me every single day. Potentially, I don't know, maybe it will turn into that. I really want to use it, and I want the creative aspect of it. That's where I really want this one. I want to have some sort of creative outlet in my planning with this one. It may be like more memory keeping, it may be more like logging down memories and thoughts and things, but I really want to incorporate this in and do a little bit of bullet journaling. It's a totally new ball game for me. I've never bullet journaled at all, so I'm excited to dive into that, and I want to get into brush lettering. I've practiced here and there. I've used an iPad for brush lettering, but I want to get more consistent with it. And I also, because it's like a creative endeavor, I want to also get into watercoloring. So that's another thing. These papers work really nicely for watercoloring as well. So that's going to be a whole different ball game. It's in my mind thinking, how am I going to incorporate this in what capacity it's going to be incorporated in, and like how frequently I'll use it and refer to it. So that's just like in the back of my mind right now, musing how this is going to be incorporated in, because it is such a new, different thing. And this is an Archer and Olive. Look at that glitter. I just love it so much. It's beautiful. It's just such a beautiful notebook. Like I said, my planner stack is not set up. Generally speaking, like your planner stack is going to be like, this is what I have and this is what I'm going to use it for. These are musings because I don't know yet. I know I want it. I know I want to use it. I know I want it to be a creative outlet, but I don't know what's going in it yet. So it's still undecided. I just wanted to put it in here because this is the thought process going into it. Like, I see something pretty, I want to incorporate it in. I just don't know how yet. And so the next total different new ball game for me is a planner that I fell in love with. I saw this all over Instagram and just fell in love. This is the Sterling Ink Common Planner. I did review these, walk through them, and show you guys all the pages and how they're set up. But this is Tomoe River paper, which is totally not in my wheelhouse at all, and I have loved using it so far. I got a half year and the full year, and I want to incorporate both in different ways, but this one I have been just using the December. So there's things on here I cannot show, so I'm going to cover up a couple of things on here, but this is just like memories over the course of the day, like the best memories that I have of the day. And yeah, there's ones on here that are going to reveal super duper secrets that I cannot reveal yet to you guys. So sorry to be vague and cryptic, but there are some major surprises in there that I cannot share. I didn't realize I wrote so much about certain things, but I've just been keeping this right now as kind of like a gratitude, like the best memories of the day. It's going to be more like memory keeping, and I want to use at least one of these weekly schedules. I plan on possibly using it as just a time log, keeping track of where my time is going, but that's kind of hard when a lot of my time is just going to be dedicated to toddler time. I guess technically like preschooler time now that she's 3, but you know, a lot of my day is spent with Stella. So I don't know that it's going to be very productive to like track my time. Like, oh, we ate breakfast. Oh, we did an art project. Oh, we played Legos. Like things like that. I probably won't document those. I'll just document like the child free times, like before they wake up, I'll document how I spent my time. At nap time, I'll document how I spent my time. Once the kids go to bed, maybe I'll document that time, but probably not. Some sort of way I want to just keep track of my time a little bit better. And then the back has all of these daily pages that you can use for whatever, and it's going to be fun. So I'm really, really thinking about how I'm going to best use these. And I have one idea that I'll share with you guys. I just saw somebody's video talking about their planner that they use for brush lettering. And so I tested it out in a couple of different places, and I don't know where I'm going to do brush lettering as far as my own personal brush lettering, but if I can get back to the beginning, I tested it out in here. And of course my brush lettering is total crap, but you can see I could brush letter in those, and the bleed through on this is amazing. There's none. That's the magic of the Tomoe River paper. No bleed through whatsoever. And then I also tested out a little bit on the monthly calendar up at the top there. Just playing around with it last night and testing it out, and it could be a great option for some brush lettering. And I also tested it in here to see if the Tombos would hold up to the Moxie Life, and I don't know where I put this. So this is going to be me cutting to finding my page there. Okay, I finally found it. So here is a page. I wanted to test it out and made sure there was no bleed through, but yeah, Moxie Life could totally be my brush lettering notebook. And of course, brush lettering, total crap right now. Got to practice and get better at it, but I tested it out there and it worked. And then also for my reflections this last week, I tested it out. Let's see if I can find it. I didn't leave enough space, but I wrote in my different sections there for what worked, what didn't, the wins, all the reflection questions. I wrote it out using the brush lettering, and I really liked the way that looked. So I probably will incorporate in some brush lettering in with my Moxie Life, even if it's not my brush lettering, hand lettering notebook, but I tested out the paper and it worked really nicely. So that's another option as far as things go. So when I'm looking down my list, I do have my note paper here where I'm kind of writing out all of my planner stack thoughts. It's great to write things out, and I'm not going to show that, but I have a couple of pages in here that's just like, what kind of things do I need? I need something for goal setting. I need something for fitness planning. I need something for an everyday to-do list, for ideas, all that stuff. Like I wrote it all out, and then I wrote what potential planners could work in that capacity. So I have lots of options, lots of musings, but I wanted to share my kind of thought process going into it, what I'm leaning towards for a few things. I definitely will be using Moxie Life. I will definitely be using some sort of grid style planner as far as to-do listing goes. And I have lots of planners to play around with and test out over the course of 2023. But that is really it for today. I'm just kind of musing, talking it out with you guys, and I will have a planner stack for you guys at some point. I'm just not there yet, so I wanted to share my progress with you guys. I hope you guys liked this video. I would love to know if you have specific questions that you ask before you decide on your planner stack. I would love to know down in the comment section. Be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe so you can follow me along. Like I said, planner stack video incoming at some point. It's just not coming yet. So be sure to stay tuned for that, and I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.